Hey, welcome back. It's funny, we live in our bodies our entire lives, but sometimes they can feel like a total mystery. Well, today, we're going to change that. We're going to crack the secret code, because understanding the human body is really about learning a new language, one that's incredibly precise and honestly, pretty cool. All right, let's just jump right in with a question that seems super simple. Take a look at your hand. Now, where's the front of it? Seems obvious, right? Well, maybe not.
I mean, if your palm is facing up, you'd probably point right to it and say, this is the front. And yeah, that totally makes sense.
But what happens if you just flip your hand over? Is that same surface still the front, or is it now the top? All of a sudden, simple words like front and top get kind of fuzzy and ambiguous. And that confusion is exactly why doctors and scientists needed a better system.
So to solve this very problem, they came up with a universal standard, a single blueprint that works for every single human body on the planet, no exceptions. And that standard is called the anatomical position. You can think of it as the North Star or the golden rule of anatomy. It's our universal starting point so that no matter if a person is standing on their head or lying on a table, everyone is describing the body from the exact same perspective. The rules for this position are really straightforward. You're standing up straight, looking forward, with your arms down at your sides. But here's the absolute key, the part that solves our hand problem. Your palms have to be facing forward, with your thumbs pointing away from your body. In this position, there's zero confusion. The palm side is always the front, or what we call the anterior side of the hand. Problem solved.
Okay, so now that we have our universal starting position, our you are here dot on the map, we need a way to give directions. And for that, anatomy has its own built-in GPS system. It's just a set of directional terms that come in pairs of opposites. Let's start with the easy one, up and down. In anatomy, superior means toward the head or above. Its opposite, inferior, means toward the feet or below. So, for example, your nose is superior to your mouth. Simple enough, right?
Next up, we have front and back. The front of the body is called anterior, and the back is posterior. So your breastbone, or your sternum, is anterior to your spine.
Now, for this next pair, you have to imagine a perfectly straight line that splits you right down the middle into two equal halves. That's your midline. Anything that's closer to that line is called medial, and anything farther away from it is lateral. So using that logic, your ears are lateral to your nose.
Things get a little special when we talk about our arms and legs. For limbs, we use the terms proximal and distal. Proximal means closer to where the limb attaches to the body, like your shoulder or hip. So your elbow is proximal to your wrist. And on the flip side, your wrist is distal to your elbow because it's further away.
And our last pair of directions is all about depth. Superficial means it's closer to the surface of your body, while deep means it's, well, deeper inside. The easiest way to think about it? Your skin is superficial to your bones. All right, so that's a pretty good GPS for the outside of the body. But what about what's going on inside? How do we talk about that? Well, for that, we use imaginary slices.
Now, don't worry, these aren't real cuts. They're imaginary flat surfaces that we call planes. Think of them as see-through sheets of glass that pass through the body. They let us look at all the internal stuff from consistent, standardized viewpoints. And there are three main ones we use all the time.
First up is the sagittal plane. Imagine that sheet of glass dropping straight down from the sky, dividing the body vertically into left and right pieces. If that slice goes perfectly down the midline, we give it a special name, a mid-sagittal plane.
Now, if you take that same sheet of glass and turn it sideways, you get the coronal plane. It's also a vertical cut, but this one divides the body differently. It splits it into a front, or anterior half, and a back, or posterior half.
And finally, we have the transverse plane. This one is probably the one you're most familiar with, even if you don't know it. It's a horizontal slice that divides the body into a top or superior part and a bottom or inferior part. Anytime you see a CT or an MRI scan, you're essentially looking at a whole bunch of transverse slices stacked on top of each other.
Okay, so we've got our standard position, we've got our directions, and we've got our imaginary slices. It might all seem a little abstract, a little academic, but I promise you this language is absolutely crucial when it comes to the real world.
Think about it. This is a truly universal language. When a surgeon in the operating room asks for a tool to be aimed at the distal end, there is no confusion. When a radiologist reads a scan and says a tumor is lateral to the heart, every single doctor on the team knows exactly where that is. This language removes all the guesswork, and by doing that, it helps prevent dangerous mistakes and makes healthcare so much safer for every single one of us.
And you know, this quest for a clear, shared understanding of the human body has been going on for a long, long time. We're talking centuries. Pioneers like Leonardo da Vinci were literally poking around in dead bodies, creating these incredibly detailed anatomical drawings. That is, until the Pope told him to knock it off. His drawings were an early attempt at the very same thing, creating a shared map of the body so everyone could be on the same page.
So at the end of the day, all these terms, superior, distal, sagittal, they aren't just vocabulary words to memorize, they are the coordinates. They're the language of the map of you. And learning this language gives you the power to understand the most complex and amazing machine you will ever own. So the only question left is, what part of your own map are you curious to explore next?